but there was a long profile of you in the Australian Financial Review, which spoke about harsh words. This was last Friday. This was published. You allegedly had, I should say, I'm going to ask you about them, with the former Reserve Bank Governor Philip Lowe and current Governor Michelle Bullock. In relation to Mr Lowe, it said that about 2 years ago, you accused him of ignoring the pain that rate rises were having on regular people, like those in Logan, your home town where you're standing now, its home suburb, and that you noted that Mr Lowe had never been there, that he lacked empathy and that he needed to get outside Sydney's affluent eastern suburbs where he lived. Did that conversation occur? Is that an accurate account?
No, it's not. It didn't occur in that form at all. Unfortunately, that piece in the Financial Review was full of factual errors. I didn't do an interview for that piece. The photos are from a couple of years ago from memory, and unfortunately there's a number of errors in that piece, including the characterisation of that conversation. Now, I'm reluctant to go into the detail of those conversations I've had with the last two governors of the Reserve Bank. I think Australians do understand that I'm very focused on the pressure they're under. It's not unusual for me to raise that, but the details of that conversation are not quite right. Similarly with Governor Bullock, nobody who's in the discussions I've had with Governor Bullock would describe them the way that they were described in that piece. I think everybody knows how respectful I am of her independence, the independence of the Reserve Bank as an institution, which I tried to strengthen, not weaken. And people know how much I value those very regular conversations I can have.
Just on
very
that,
productive conversations I have with Governor Bullock.
Treasurer, just on that, the central premise was that an RBA statement had talked about an impact on demand of budget outcomes, state and federal, basically code for too much spending, and that you are reported to have rung Michelle Bullock and registered your displeasure. Did that happen?
No. I mean, we speak about these matters all of the time, all of the issues in the economy, not just that one. We have a regular structured conversation and we have informal conversations initiated by either of us at different times. But the way that those conversations were characterised in that piece, unfortunately, for all involved, were not right. We have very respectful, very constructive conversations about all parts of her considerations and my considerations. The Governor has said publicly before that public spending is not the main game. She's pointed out, as I have, that we've got the same objective here, to get inflation down without seeing the spike in unemployment that we've seen in other countries. But we've got different responsibilities. We're very, very respectful of each other. That piece did not convey that, as far as I'm concerned, as accurately as it could have.
And finally and briefly, Treasurer, the opposition leader Peter Dutton isn't ruling out promising tax cuts at the election. Have you got Treasury to do any work on potential tax cut options in case either A, you want to promise it, or B, you want to match a promise?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm not going to go into the kind of budget deliberations and all the rest of it. You would know that our focus is on rolling out the cost of living relief we already budgeted for, the tax cuts that we've already budgeted for, which Peter Dutton opposed. It would be strange for Peter Dutton to oppose a tax cut for every taxpayer on the one hand and then announce new tax cuts on the other hand. Our focus is on rolling out the tax cuts we've already budgeted for. We've said on a number of occasions, I think including earlier today in our discussion, Andrew, which I'm grateful for, the hints for the fourth budget will be in the first three. Cost of living help if we can afford it, trying to clean up the mess that we inherited of the budget, investing in the future so that we can build Australia's future. That's what we're all about. That's what the election campaign will be all about as well, because by managing the budget as responsibly as we have, we've been able to find room to strengthen Medicare and to build more urgent care clinics in our suburbs and towns. More urgent care clinics means less stress on families, it means less pressure on household budgets, and that's what we're all about.
Treasurer, thank you so much for your time today.
Appreciate it, Andrew. All the best.